are now in the deep end of horror.
And I will see the life run out of you.
Hello, my children of the popcorn. Today I'm here to show you my love of John Carpenter. Of course, we have little Michael Myers back here holding a pumpkin. But I wanted to show you my Michael Myers collection. I mean, not my Michael Myers, my John Carpenter collection. Of course, I do have all the Halloween films, the 10-disc set, Halloween the Complete Collection, which is not complete anymore, of course, because of Halloween 2018. But this is a nice set with all the Halloweens on Blu-ray. But of course you're saying, well, he likes John Carpenter so much, why doesn't he have the 15-disc set? Well, of course I do. And the 15-disc set is marvelous. Comes with a wonderful book. Halloween 2, there's the bonus disc. Halloween, Now He Came Home, Halloween 2, Season of the Witch, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, Halloween 6, or Halloween 666, or Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers. You can call it what you want, just don't call it Late for Dinner. Halloween H2O, 20 years later. Halloween Resurrection. Rob Zombie Halloween. Rob Zombie Halloween 2. The difference, the 10 discs you get in here are also 10 discs that you get here. You just get extra features. You get one disc for each film in there. Here you get bonus discs and bonus cuts. Like for Curse of Michael Myers, you get the theatrical cut and the producer's cut, whereas in that one you just get the theatrical cut. There are a ton of extra features on here. But honestly, I'd say after watching them once, I mean, yes, obviously I'm keeping the 15 set, but after watching them once, the 10 disc set is perfectly sufficient for most usages. I also have the Universal release of Halloween 2 30th Anniversary Edition because it has on here Terror in the Aisles. So it has a whole other film on this disc, and it's really the only way to get Terror in the Aisles. And that's Terror in the Aisles is basically a clip show movie that was released to theaters and hosted by Donald Pleasance and Nancy Allen, if I recall correctly. And then I have Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers on DVD. Just because I found it at a pawn shop, again, for my usual price for DVDs, $1. But I couldn't stop there, so I have the 4K of John Carpenter's Halloween. And I will say that it does look better in 4K than in the regular Blu-ray, but it's not that much of an improvement. So honestly, I would just stick, for most people's purposes, just stick with the Blu-ray, you're fine. The 4K of the 2018 Halloween, which is awesome. I'm sorry I didn't get the Steelbook version, but I got the regular version. And then I got the Steelbook, Scream Factory Steelbook of Halloween 2, because I'd heard that it had a new encoding on the disc, a new a new remaster, and they aren't kidding. The Halloween 2 on here, on this one, is so much better looking than the one on this disc or the one on the set that's in the 10 or 15 set. This one is a really good look, and I picked it up. I had to shell out $20 at FYE for it. And then another one I found at the pawn shop that I was thrilled when I found it was Halloween 25 Years of Terror, which is an Anchor Bay 2-disc set. That Halloween Autopsis. It comes complete with a Halloween graphic novel. Which, as is par for the course, I've not taken the time to read yet. But yeah, feature presentation and then bonus materials. The bonus materials mostly a bunch of panels. But that's the Halloween part of John Carpenter. And then the Dark Star, John Carpenter's first feature, which is very funny. It has the theatrical release special edition on here in widescreen. I don't know if they've done a Blu-ray of this, but Dark Star is quite funny. John Carpenter's Village of the Damned, which is one of his least films. He remade The Thing into one of my all-time favorite films. And then he remade Village of the Damned, and this one is actually not as good as the original Village of the Damned. Go back and watch the black and white one, unless you hate black and white, in which case watch this one. But Village of the Damned is just okay. I don't know, if his hands were tied by the studio or what. I know he could have done a better job. Starman, which is highly entertaining, but it's friendly aliens, and I'm not really into friendly aliens all that much. It's good. John Carpenter, Fear is Just the Beginning, The Man and His Movies, which is an okay overview. It's nice to have as a DVD. Black Moon Rising, which somebody, I picked this up somewhere, and of course when I opened it up after I bought it, oh yeah, it looks like it, but I just thought somebody was faking up the cover, but when I looked at the disc, it's a bootleg. It's a bootleg disc, and I don't like buying bootlegs. You should always buy the original product. It's not like a high horse that I want to get on. If you buy gray market products, go ahead and buy gray market products. But the people that work so hard to provide these films for you deserve to be compensated. So if there is a legitimate release out, you should get it. Now, if there isn't a legitimate release out, like directors who hate their films, for example, Michael Mann hating The Keep, then yeah, I have no problem buying the gray market one if they won't release it. This is the remake of The Fog, not John Carpenter, of course. I just stick it in there because. And of course, Starman, which apparently I have by itself. I didn't realize I had 2 copies of Starman. The Twilight Time, John Carpenter's Vampires. Their license to this has lapsed, and since then Scream Factory's put it out. I would go get the Scream Factory edition, but it's pointless because, as I'll show you in a moment, since all their others are on steelbooks, they have steelbooks of all the other John Carpenters, why would I pick up one that didn't have a steelbook? Because then they'll just release the steelbook and I'll buy it, so I don't like double dipping, triple dipping, exactly. Eyes of Laura Mars. John Carpenter did not direct this, but he did write the screenplay for it. Ghosts of Mars, which a lot of people hate. I really enjoy. It's not a great Carpenter film, but it's still fun. I still find it to be fun. Escape from L.A. Again, it's a Carpenter film that's fun. It's got a lot of cameos that are great, like Bruce Campbell's cameo, and Steve Buscemi's in this. But it's so lame compared to Escape from New York. So You have to take it as its own thing because that's that. This is, I think, I thought this was one of John Carpenter's worst films because it was meh. It didn't show a lot of John Carpenter's style in it, and in addition to that, the spoiler. I don't like to do spoilers, but when you get to the end of the film, you realize that it just copied another film. Now, this one possibly may have been written first. I don't know. But there's a particular film whose twist this one copies, and so I didn't really care for it. The remake for Assault on Precinct 13. John Carpenter made the original, but not this one. This one's okay. It's fun, but go back and watch the original. The original one's much better. John Carpenter presents Body Bags. I have the Blu-ray, and John Carpenter is actually in this. It's just okay. Again, it's not one of his great films. In the Mouth of Madness, which is a great Lovecraftian film. I don't have it on Blu-ray, so I do need to upgrade that at some point. Big Trouble in Little China, which is not horror, but it's awesome. It's amazing. I like it for its central conceit, which is that Kurt Russell thinks he's the hero of the story, and he's not. Kurt Russell is actually the sidekick in the movie, but no one comes out and says that. But when you look at it and you analyze what happens in the film, he's actually the sidekick. And then are my nice deluxe sets. I have Prince of Darkness that I imported in 4K. And for those that don't know, 4Ks are all of them are region free, so all 4Ks will play on all 4K players. The only thing is that if you get an Italian 4K, it will play in your player just fine, but it'll be in Italian. So you can pick up 4Ks, and again, 4K Prince of Darkness in here, which looks absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend the 4K of Prince of Darkness. The Blu-ray extras, which are amazing. They're amazing extras. The extras are on Blu-ray and they're region locked. But yeah, basically there's a whole documentary on here on the making of Prince of Darkness that's an hour and a half long, and it's wonderful. And the Prince of Darkness on 4K is gorgeous. John Carpenter's The Thing. On the Scream Factory Steelbook. They have, if you buy the John Carpenter Collector's Edition from Scream Factory, that's not the Steelbook, you'll get these two discs, but not that one. You'll get the feature film in a 2016 2K scan plus bonus features, and I think it looks marvelous. I'm told that the Arrow release, which they've gotten the disc 1, looks better, but I haven't done a side-by-side comparison. I just know that I liked both. I really liked both releases. One day I'll have to compare them side-by-side, because I'm told that this one, the Arrow one, is much better. John Carpenter's The Thing. Prince of Darkness, the Scream Factory edition, which I would think about getting rid of because I have the 4K Steelbook, but the John Carpenter Steelbooks look so good together. And I also have the Scream Factory version of The Fog, which is a film I love. I love all the John Carpenter films, well, almost all the John Carpenter films. They Live, again, the Steelbook edition from Scream Factory. They're putting out Big Trouble in Little China, and I look forward to getting the Steelbook of that one at some point. Escape from New York, Scream Factory, 2-disc, Steelbook, and John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13. I like that they got or at least I believe they got the same person to do the artwork on all of these, because they look so good together with the similar styles of artwork. And then I also bought, also on the John Carpenter shelf, is the Fog in 4K, the gift set. And I don't regret buying the gift set. I did shell out the bucks for it, but it has a few drawbacks. It comes with a bunch of art cards, which they didn't particularly choose good shots. Like this shot is marvelous in color. They chose to do it in black and white. That's just a shot of the lighthouse. So that's a good shot, but if they had waited a few seconds or so, Blake's eyes glow red. So whoever was doing the cards chose poor moments. And then the set also contains a nice poster of the Fog. A nice booklet of the Fog. And the 4K, the 4K Ultra HD of the Fog, the Blu-ray version of the Fog. These are all from Studio Canal, and so the Blu-rays are region locked, but the 4K is not. But I have a region-free player, and you should get a region-free player too. And then it comes with the Fog movie soundtrack. So it's an incredible set. But the problem is that while Studio Canal did that, and I was trying to see if they did, yeah, and they did the Prince of Darkness one. Prince of Darkness looks amazing in 4K. Okay, it blows away the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray looks great too, but it blows away the Blu-ray, so you should get Prince of Darkness in 4K. Whoever was doing the coloring on the Fog in 4K was asleep at the wheel. The Fog looks awful. The picture is actually... I've heard about artifacting and such like that. I didn't notice that as much because I have a 55-inch TV. I don't have a big 70 or 75-inch TV. I have a good-sized 55-inch. So I didn't notice the artifacting, but the color correction on it is just abominable. They push the reds so high for the HDR that the mahogany on the ship looks unnatural. And you might think, okay, well, it's just the mahogany on the ship. It's no big deal. But you can actually see it in every single scene. In every scene where a person is in the foreground, they color correct to make the people look natural. But any scene where people are in the background, all their faces are orange because they push the red so high. And it's very distracting. It's an awful release. I mean, I would hate, you've got this deluxe 4K set, and yet I would say get the Scream Factory edition. The Scream Factory Blu-ray, which has been out for years, looks way better than the 4K that just came out. And see, that's saying a lot. Now, that said, of course, it's really nice to come out to get the booklets, and on the Blu-ray from the Fog here, you not only get an hour and a half documentary on the making of the Fog, which is awesome. It's almost worth the price itself. But you also get a documentary on the films John Carpenter almost made, but didn't. And then, of course, the last thing on my John Carpenter shelf is Anthology, which has the main soundtracks for In the Mouth of Madness, Assault on Precinct 13, The Fog, Prince of Darkness, Santiago, which is the theme from Vampires, Escape from New York, Halloween, Pork Chop Express, which is Big Trouble, pardon me, Big Trouble in Little China, They Live, The Thing, Starman, Dark Star, and Christine. But that's my John Carpenter collection. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, or even comment below, because I want to hear what you think.
No fair.